Hey cuties, PeachY here, welcome back to a new video, and in this video we have our first look at the next upcoming G3 animated episode where we can see Apollo Wolf and Dracula have their first encounter. So everything you need to know about the episode when it's coming out and more episodes with more parental figures appearing. Stay tuned and let's get into it. This small clip was found in the latest compilation video posted to the official Monster High YouTube channel. They've done this in the past where they will sneak in little new clips, part of upcoming episodes in these compilation videos where it's almost like a hidden Easter egg, because if you don't watch a compilation video you would not see the new clip part of the new episodes, like with Nephra or with Twyla. So for this clip, it's all about the first encounter between Apollo Wolf and Dracula. We're gonna break down the full clip and see what it's all about. So here we have the first shots of the new clip where we can see someone is holding an ice cream cone that we've seen this little treat in previous episodes. It's literally just a eyeball with sprinkles on top. So I can never get over how, like, literally it's just an eyeball and they call it eye scream, like eye screaming. It's hilarious. So we have this close-up, and then obviously it's Dracula holding the ice cream cone and he's looking pretty upset. Now this is taking place in the coffin being like little student lounge area. And so Claudine is there with Claude and her dad, and she, leaves Apollo Wolf, Claudine's dad, to sit with Dracula while they, order some stuff to drink, or I guess, I don't know. And so we get our first encounter with Dracula and Apollo Wolf. I'm just gonna call him like Mr. Wolf. So they have a cute little interaction. At first, obviously, Mr. Wolf is like very impressed because he's talking to the Dracula, and he asks him like, is it true that there's like a specific type of film that will capture vampires, and there's like type of film that will not capture vampires? Like basically, because he's into like monsters and like the whole like scientific aspect to monsters, and so he's a monster expert, right? Like that's what they talked about in like a previous episode. He has gadgets and stuff, so he's very into monsters, and so obviously he's very into Dracula. He's very fascinated by him, like we all are apparently. So Dracula then spills the beans. He's like, well, listen, he basically just vents to Mr. Wolf. He's like, listen, I had a bad day, okay? I had a rough day. Listen, okay? So he tells him what happened. He's like, he starts using like an analogy of like his best friend. Like this guy he knows is very respected and regarded in his community. Obviously speaking of himself, but he's not. He wants to maybe hide it, and so he's not outright saying it's him. So he's using like someone else as a reference, and so he's saying like, my friend, oh, he has a daughter, and this daughter likes a very dangerous hobby. And so Apollo is like, oh, like ski, like water skiing, and Dracula's like, yeah, water skiing. And all the while he's saying like how handsome this friend is, and obviously referring to himself, like just look at this like vanity little pose. It's just like, what? I mean, yeah, he looks great, but like they really hammer it in that it's like, oh, I'm hot. It's like, oh god, oh no. So yeah, he says like, oh, he's very handsome, and again, this daughter of his has very difficult, very dangerous hobbies, and so they kind of use the analogy with witchcraft and water skiing. And so whenever you hear water skiing, they're basically talking about witchcraft. And so Apollo Wolf here, he knows what's going on here. He knows that Dracula is talking about himself, but he's just kind of going with it, And so Dracula is like, yeah, water skiing. And so he's talking about how they used to do all these hobbies together, and he thought that the daughter and the father like had very similar interests, and that they were having like a good bond. But then he finds out that she's into water skiing, and he's like very upset about it. So obviously, in the context of this scenario, Dracula has found out that Draculaura is practicing witchcraft, and so he's kind of upset about it, obviously. So that's very interesting, because when we get to the actual episode description later on, it kind of messes up with the context of the situation. But anyways, so Apollo Wolf is like, okay, but you mean your friend, right? And he's like, yes, my friend, that's right, my friend has these issues, not me, I'm perfect. So it's good. I love this dynamic. I feel like they had like barely a minute of like a scene together, but I already can't wait to see them just talk about fatherhood again, because they really, I feel like they could be great friends, and you know, they just look great. So Dracula is very upset and like frustrated. He's like, he doesn't know what to do, obviously, because he wants to protect Dracula, but he's like, he doesn't know what to do with this hobby. It's very dangerous, and his point of view, he thinks witchcraft is dangerous. He doesn't know any better. So he asks Apollo Wolf, for advice, like, what would you do? And so Apollo starts to relate about his own situation with Claudine, talking about how when Claudine first came here, he was also very scared for her, because he thought, this place could be, very dangerous. And so, but then he saw how happy it made Claudine actually to be here around people that are like her. And so her happiness matters more to him than him being worried. So him seeing Claudine being happy makes it all okay, because that's all that matters at the end of the day for parents, right? So that's very sweet. That's very, very cute. And here we can also see Claude and someone else, like they're having a good conversation. So I love that they're also like bringing in Claude more with these situations with, Claudine's dad, because obviously they're all a family. And I'm really happy that, Claude really is part of the family now. So that's really cute how Apollo, Mr. Wolf describes it. And so he says basically that, if you can maybe find a way to keep Dracula safe, then maybe it'll solve itself. But obviously they're keeping with the analogy where, so Apollo Wolf uses like keeping Dracula safe by saying, maybe if, the dad could find a way to give the daughter a life vest, it could kind of be better. So in that way, he could protect her in a way that's not like direct, and it's not like confrontational. And so basically he's trying to tell Dracula that, hey, just find a way to make it safe for her and you. And so Dracula then, he's like, oh my god, I got an idea. He slams down his hand. He's like, oh my god, I got it, I'm a genius. And so he says, I got it, I know what I gotta do. And then he poofs out of there in the most cute ass looking bat form I've ever seen. This is his bat form. We've never seen it before, but that's what it looks like. And people were saying that it looks like really bad, like he has a huge head. But let me remind you that Dracula's bat form also has a huge head. That's just how the design is, I guess, with the bat forms for the vampires. So to me, it doesn't look off. It looks perfect for him. And obviously the smoke is also red and not pink, like with Dracula. We like how the hair stayed the same, the eyes stayed the same. He still has his little, jacket or whatever. Look at this, like, how cute is that? He's still wearing a suit. Like, what? And Dracula, again, she also has a huge head. She also keeps her, hairstyle. Wait, does she? I actually don't remember. I don't think. Oh, I guess she doesn't really keep her hairstyle, but she has some kind of like a fur motif that kind of looks like her hair, but she doesn't have her clothing on. So, I mean, yeah, Dracula does look different. Like, he has his hair, he has his outfit on. Dracula's bat form, she doesn't have anything on. So it does look different, but not weird. Like, I do think the proportions are still very much the same. Like, they both have the same bat form proportions. But anyway, so Dracula is gone. He's like he's out of there. And that's the end. So the last clip is of Dracula flying away, knowing what to do now. So obviously in the context of this scenario, Dracula knows that Dracula is practicing witchcraft, but he's not sure what to do about it. And it seems almost like Dracula also doesn't know that he knows yet. So maybe he found out in like a different way. I'm not sure, but let's move on over to the actual description so maybe it'll make more sense. So the episode title is Spell the Beans, like spill the beans, but it's spell, like spell casting. it's of course they're always using like word puns in these titles, which is always really fun. But the plot here reads: when Dracula and the Monster Parent Association descend on Monster High to investigate a witch rumor, Dracula has to make a big decision. Does she finally tell her dad that she does witchcraft? So see right there already, that implies by the end of the episode perhaps she will tell Dracula that she does witchcraft. But the actual clip that we see here seems to take place in the middle of the episode, maybe like also when something else happens, because like if Dracula is the one who's supposed to tell him, then why is it that here Dracula already knows about this secret and he's going to talk about it with Dracula? So I don't know, there's just something off about the description and the way it plays out in this clip that doesn't really align. But there's no other episode like this that has a similar plot line that matches with what we've seen here. So this episode is obviously the one that is going to be the episode that has this clip, also because the next episode on the IMDb list is this episode. It's episode 14, Spell the Beans. So it makes sense that this one would be the one that comes out next. And that's why we also have a clip of it here in this compilation video. So it makes sense. It's definitely this episode, but the way it's constructed and the way Dracula already knows about the secret doesn't make sense with the context of the description. It just doesn't really align. But I guess they changed it. I don't know. But it's very interesting. I guess, Dracula finds out and then it's all about him working it out with Dracula. But I guess we'll just find out when the episode drops. Now, there is no official release date, but judging by the little clip here already getting released in this compilation video, I'm gonna say that maybe like in the next couple of days, maybe next week, we'll get an announcement for more episodes coming out very soon. I hope so, because we've been waiting already for a while now, not like maybe a month already since like the last episode with like the Werecats and Gil. Has it been a month? I don't remember, but it's been a while, like a couple of weeks for sure. So I do wonder maybe we're gonna get new episodes already, so it's gonna be very exciting. And also we are gonna get to see Heathstad as well make an appearance in a future episode, which is gonna be very amazing, also because I know people are very eager to meet more Dilfs in this universe. Which, by the way, I didn't talk about this, but the whole fact that people are simping over Dracula is freaking hilarious to me. Like, I get he's like attractive, but girl, like the way some people tweeted out very descriptive scenarios of what they want to do to Dracula, and it's like, you need to calm down, like y'all need Jesus. Or just like go do your thing, like help yourself. But like, dang, you're like, again, and it's fine, but like, Jesus. It just really took me off guard. Like, Dracula really is a popular daddy, he's like very popular amongst us fans, I guess. And I get it, he's hot, but like, Jesus, like it just got a little much. But it's fun. It's just, I'm concerned for Heathstad now. Hades, obviously, like if he's hot, like even remotely hot, girl, people are gonna have a field day with him. So anyways, that was Dracula and Apollo Wolf, our favorite Dilfs so far, meeting finally in this new clip. What do you think, and who's your favorite Dilf? Anyway, that was the video. I hope y'all enjoyed. Leave a like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you haven't already, and become a member today so you don't miss out when I post more content like this coming your way daily and keeping you up to date with all the loyalty you love. Stay safe, be kind. I hope this next time. Stay peachy. Kisses.